If you recently got some kind of notification looking something like this, asking about Facebook Protect, you might have first been wondering, is this a scam? Is this legit? Is this a real thing? Well, first, let's answer that question. It is a real thing. No, it is not a scam. And yes, you really do want to do it to be able to protect your Facebook and your Meta account. So in this video, I'm going to explain what Facebook Protect is, if it costs anything, how do you set it up, why it's so important, and then also we're going to do a tutorial together over the shoulder style. Hi, by the way, my name is Brittany Verlenich, and if you're here, you're either watching YouTube or you're listening on the Social Media Magic podcast. I'm so glad you're here. I hope that you find this episode really helpful, and if you have any questions, you can either leave them on the comments here on YouTube, or you can send me a DM on Instagram over at Brittany Verlenich. Let's get into the tutorial. So what is Facebook Protect? Basically, in simple terms, it just means two-factor authentication. We want to make sure that we have more than one way for someone to log into our account. So for example, if you were to get a new computer tomorrow and you went to go log in on Facebook using your email address and password linked to your account, you'll see some kind of notification pop up and say, is this you? Or you might even get a notification on your phone that says, are you trying to log in from X location? And the reason that Facebook and other websites do this is to protect you and your account. They don't want for any information to be stolen. They don't want for any hackers to get into it. So it is indeed a real thing. I'm just going to read a snippet of this just in case this was answering the question you had. How do I know if an email I got about Facebook Protect is legitimate? There are so many phishing attempts and scams out there that it's understandable that you'd have this question. You always want to make sure that the emails from Facebook come from security@facebookmail.com. If it comes from any other email address, that is a really quick way to see that it is a scam. If you had an email come from this address, you know it's legit. Same thing with a notification. Just like I showed on the screen a minute ago, if you received a notification saying that you are required to turn on Facebook Protect, then you'll want to make sure you have it on. Maybe you received a notification that said you're required to turn on Facebook Protect, but you still haven't turned it on and you're wondering what happens. Well, with some accounts, especially if you have a lot of reach, meaning that your posts are getting seen by thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or maybe even millions of people, Facebook is going to require those accounts to have Facebook Protect or two-factor authentication turned on. If for some reason your reach becomes limited, then maybe you will never get this notification, or if you received this notification before but you didn't turn it on and then your reach decreased, then you wouldn't need it anymore. So it seems to allude possibly that if you don't have this turned on, Facebook might limit the reach of your posts. They have not explicitly said that, but that is what I'm inferring, and it might just be for them to keep the platform safer. If you're watching the YouTube video, I'm going to put the link of this down in the episode description. It's the exact link to this page, so that way you can go and read exactly what Facebook says itself, get the instructions for turning it on, whether you're using your iPad, your iPhone, or an Android phone. But essentially, you're just going to go to your profile picture at the top right-hand side of your screen. You're going to go to Settings. It'll say Settings and Privacy, and then you will click Settings. Go to Password and Security. Click Password and Security again, and then get to two-factor authentication. If you have multiple accounts that you manage on Instagram and on Facebook, so that's including your personal profile, pages, and any Instagram accounts connected to your Meta account, you'll have to set it up for each individual account. This is especially important to know if you're a social media manager or a VA, a virtual assistant, who assists people with their social media management. You can also change while you're here whether or not you're going to have your information saved. So if you maybe use multiple devices like me, you have a laptop for your home, you have a laptop that you carry with you when you travel, you can save the logins on those browsers so that you don't always have to manually remember your password. This can be especially helpful when you're in another country and you maybe don't have phone service, and so having a code sent to your phone number might not work in that stance. If you're really nervous about getting your account hacked or having someone use it for nefarious purposes, you might want to consider getting Meta verified. In a separate video, I'll talk a little more about what Meta verification is and how to get set up. So if you're not already, I would love it if you'd subscribe, like this video, and again, if you have any questions, drop them here in the comments, or send me a DM on Instagram over at Brittany Verlenich. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for listening. And if you're not, I'll put the podcast cover up on the screen in case you prefer to listen. Otherwise, I'd love it if you would subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, or you'll hear me on the next episode.